Sorry for everybody who is live, we were a little bit late, blame it on Flex, but we've got a great show for you. Unfortunately, we don't have the black armbands. We should have black armbands. We've failed you. We don't have the black armbands. Manchester City, the greatest football team the Premier League has ever seen, has lost a game today, and we should all be in mourning. But I think it's really funny that when they've done what I expected to happen, really, and Manchester United actually had a longer unbeaten run last season than the one that City had this year. So the press are in mourning. They can't stand it. But we know what we want to talk about. We want to talk about Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United. And also Manchester United have got a game tomorrow. Mourinho comments that came out late last night, I think they need to be touched on as well. But I obviously did the video earlier on. I have to stand by what was said. I cannot move away from it, even though Flex says it's very dangerous. We've been told, well, I've been told that Alexis Sanchez is definitely coming to Manchester United. And a lot of people have replied to that and said, that's the end of you if he doesn't. But no, it's not really. I mean, Jim White's tweeted the same, Sky are saying the same, everybody's saying the same. The only thing, I'm very nervous about it. Look, it's not me saying he's coming. I've been told by somebody I really respect and trust. And I'll still respect and trust them afterwards, and I won't throw them under the bus. But I am very nervous because I want him at Manchester United. And Pep Guardiola didn't kill it dead either after the City-Liverpool game. But go to you, Flex, because you are not convinced by this still.
Yeah, until, you know, it's the football transfer world. So until you see the official club Twitter account, official club statement, players signing documents in a shirt, holding the shirt up by the side of their chest, I'm just very reluctant to believe it. I mean, I'm still a bit in shock that we're even, well, I'm not even going to say linked now. We're definitely in for him. We know that already. But I'm still like, all the talk was about Ozil. Where's this come from? Sanchez was nailed on City, but, you know, then again, should we be surprised? This is football. With Lukaku in the summer, he was a dead cert to Chelsea. Morata was a dead cert to us, and look how that went. So it's a weird one. It's a weird one because people have been saying, so does that mean we won't get Griezmann? Does that mean we won't go for Ozil and Dybala, etc.? And you've got to think, you know, if we do get Sanchez, what does it mean for our transfers going forward? But again, I'm still reluctant to talk prematurely because, you know, it's difficult. We don't know yet. Let's face it, we don't know yet. But there is a lot of noise, more sway on our side. But I think if he does sign, there'll be huge talking points about A, exactly where does he play? B, where does it go with our transfer policy? Yes, it's great having a player of Sanchez's quality in, of course, at this cheap price, etc. He's available. Yes, go for him. But it could be detrimental to the plans we were maybe planning for Griezmann in the summer, or Dybala, or these other forward superstars that we're thinking of. So there's swings and roundabouts on both sides. It's interesting to see how it's going to go over the next 48 hours. Chilean
flag to Red Devil. This has been put on a Snapchat associated with Romelu Lukaku. I'm convinced it's fake. A lot of people think it's real. The only news outlet who's saying it's real is The Express, which is basically it's fake. But, you know, a lot of people are... well, in fact, we've just had a contribution here from Broski R, who says, Lukaku uploaded a picture of a Chilean flag pointing towards a Red Devil. What do you make of that, Mark? And what are your thoughts about City losing? Well, we can talk about that in a minute. But, look, the Lukaku thing appears to be fake, I would say. But £400,000 a week is what Manchester United apparently are going to offer to Sanchez, Sophie, which would be the biggest fee, you know, the most, you know, the most paid player in the Premier League. We will be accused of throwing money at the problem, but I disagree with that. We're up against Man City, and they, you know, they've been doing that for years. What are your thoughts? Because we haven't spoken for a few days, and I think when we did speak, it was in its infancy. It's coming towards its end now. Sanchez's transfer is going to give birth soon, without being crude. Where do you think he's going to be delivered?
Well, it's looking more and more likely now that he's actually coming to United. I'm a bit like Flex. I won't fully believe it until he's there holding a Man United shirt. Then I'll actually be excited about the transfer because there's no denying his talent. He's an awesome player. People will say we're throwing money at it. People always say that about Man United. When he was linked to City, there wasn't really much talk about the value of his transfer because he is such a quality player. I think because it's Man United, people will judge that. But you just have to kind of accept it. The reality is, he is a bargain at the price that is being battered around at the moment. And would he make a positive impact on our team? I think he would. I'm a bit unsure as to where he's going to play at the moment. But yeah, I think Sanchez to United is looking more and more likely, and I'm getting a bit excited about it actually happening now. And Wenger's obviously said within 48 hours it'll be sorted as well.
Yes, yes. I think the start of this week's going to be a very interesting one. I think it's going to be, you know, very. It almost feels like, Flex, that it's, you know, it's become the deal that we didn't really want in some ways. Because if we lose this, the loss is going to be. I know what happens after when this sort of thing happens. It will be United fans fighting out against each other because they're just going to be so frustrated and angry. And I just hope and hope and hope the fact that we're so public that we really want him, that the club didn't go into this not, you know, with a 50-50, that they went into it a bit like Lukaku. You know, we knew Lukaku was going to Chelsea. United obviously inquired, got some positivity and did the deal. And I hope that's happened with Sanchez, because if it does backfire, we're you know, whatever people say about, oh, people said it was done or anything like that, ultimately it falls on the club for not getting the deal done. And they, you know, I think going in publicly and then losing to City would be tragic.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. The custard pie that's going to be on our faces if this deal doesn't go through, is going to be massive. And I think rule number one, just as a football fan, is just never believe anything, never believe any players signing for anyone until it's been officially confirmed. It's as simple as that. Now, like I said before, it's actually so weird because it's like Sanchez isn't really the player. People might call me crazy for saying this, but Sanchez isn't really the player we needed. It was more Ozil. I think he'll be like the more beneficial player to us, especially now we're playing without a number 10. So you look at it and think, if you was going to choose between the two, maybe people might disagree with me, but I think I'd probably swing Ozil. But like Mourinho said, when players become available, sometimes you have no choice. If you want to show ambition and build something, sometimes you've got to just go in there. And I think that's what we're doing. But like I said, the L we're going to take if we don't get him, yeah, the footballing world's going to be laughing at us, especially for the fans who are posting it all over social media saying it's a done deal, maybe Mark included. You know, you got to be prepared to take that L. And some people, you know, a lot of people sort of say, oh, Flex, you're so negative. And to me, I don't see myself as negative. I just see myself as a realist. And, you know, you got to be honest with yourself. Well, I try to be as honest as I can be. You know, as much as I love the club and support Man United, you've got to try and have a bit of realism. And if you get too carried away with things like this, you know, you can let your mind run away with you. And then, like I said, you're holding big L's. So I think let's just wait and see for the next sort of day to 48 hours. But if we don't get him, I mean, Ozil's pretty much going to stay for the summer. We know that. Are we going to be in for anyone else if this massively falls through? Have we put all our eggs into one basket? Do we have a plan B? There still hasn't been any mention of Mahrez. You look at Mahrez in the Chelsea game yesterday, still a threat, still taking on players, natural wit, good at crossing. Would he have been a bit more of a natural fit and an easier target to get rather than trying to let Alexis hold us to ransom for huge wages and then just go to Pep anyway? I don't know. They're just things that I'm just throwing out there. They're just interesting talking points to see, you know, what people think. But these are all things that could potentially happen. So we'll see. But we're in very dangerous waters. Very dangerous waters.
We are, and sometimes sometimes you've got to jump in with a shark, haven't you, to win the battle? And I think United have definitely done that. I mean, going toe to toe with City on a money issue is massive, and I think if United pull it off, I've said it so many times, if we pull this off, it's not just Alexis Sanchez. It's a massive statement, and I think everyone who has a critical things to say about Woodward and the board, I've been saying for a while now, you've got to wait till the end of this summer coming to sort of really see what their vision is. But already, if they pull this off, amazing, absolutely amazing deal. Matthew McFadden says the Snapchat username is a different one to the one Lukaku uses. Fake unless he didn't update it, which is very, very unlikely. I want to get everyone's percentage in relation to the guests and the live comments as well. And we've also had a comment from Sean Atwood who says it's optimistic, but still well, I know what he's talking about there. So I'll come back to that, Sean, in a minute. But give us your percentage, everyone at home, as to how you feel, how sure you are that Sanchez is going to come to Manchester United, because I'm going to ask Sophie and Flex about that. But I must just say, Flex, you know, because I've told you where I've got this information from. Come on, but what you know, you can't say where I've got it from, but in relation to that, it's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's good, but it's football, man. It's football. I mean, we can have all the sources in the world and the links and the little, you know, backhanders and stuff like that and good know-how. But I'm telling you, even if that is the case at this precise moment, at what is it, 8:15, 8:20, that might not be the case by 9 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are human beings we're dealing with. They've got families, they got brains, they got second thoughts. You know what I mean? They got demons, just like anyone else's head. So, yeah, Alexis might even have said, you know, that over the last 12 hours or what we're talking the whole of today, he might have even said, yeah, all right, yeah, United, I'm in. Yeah, we talked to your representatives. Who's to say he won't go to sleep at night, wake up tomorrow, and say, actually, nah, I'm gonna go, Pep. I'll wait till the summer. Because let's face it, the power's still with Alexis Sanchez. It's not with Arsenal. It's not with Man United. It's with Alexis Sanchez. And if his missus wakes up tomorrow morning and says she don't want to go there, and she's got him, then he might not move. You don't know. You don't know.
Well, I must just add in, I'm a big fan of Di Marzio. We've been doing this for 3 years now, and I often quote Di Marzio, the Italian journalist, and he actually did say at lunchtime, and I've not even mentioned it, that he started this all off really 3 days ago. He said that United have agreed terms with Sanchez and his agent. So Sanchez was the one we were sort of worried about. But Sophie, how confident are you that this is going to happen as a percentage? I started at 20, I went to 30, and I'm now 90%, and it's all on my source. But a lot there's people here like Nadim. I like Marius Sak because he's 96%, very very precise. But Amanul's only 45%. Faisal Shak is 70 to 30%. Should be the other way around, mate. But a lot of people, I would say, are 75. I'd say the average is about 75%. So that's very, very high. That's very, very high.
So I was very apprehensive. I started off probably about 10%. Really could not see it happening. But now, with obviously all the recent comments and the fact that it's going to be done within 48 hours, it seems to be swinging in our favour. So I'm probably going to say about 80% is now my prediction. I'm feeling pretty confident that it is going to happen.
Good. And go on, sorry.
80%. I think it's going to happen now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to be fair. But until he's holding that United shirt, then I'm not 100% confident.
It will be massive. Everybody do drop a like on the video, and remember we're live at 8 o'clock every night, so hit that subscribe icon in the bottom right hand corner and get involved. This is the sort of thing and conversation that we have every night at 8 o'clock. And tomorrow night is a Manchester United match, so we'll be live from about 7 o'clock with the team news right the way through till full time, and Flex will be up after the match with the fan cam. So get involved with the United stand. But we must talk about Manchester City, because if Manchester United beat Manchester City to Alexis Sanchez any time in the next 40 hours and beat Stoke City, we will be 12 points behind them with 15 games to go. 12 points with 15 games to go. It's so frustrating, Flex, because if we, you look at those 4 points we gave away over Christmas. You were there for the Burnley and Southampton games. If that's down to 8, if we got something out of them at our place, it's all if, buts and maybes. But even 12 points.
Leicester game.
Yeah, 6 there, yeah. So, some people. The question was put there by the super chat: Is the title on for United still, or is it definitely gone? I know what I think.
You know what? I'm going to get accused of being negative once again, but again, I'm a realist. Yes, mathematically, until it's completely over mathematically, you can never say it's over. However, it is extremely unlikely. Extremely unlikely. City would need to lose sort of 5 games, maybe 6, for us to get, and we'd have to win all of our games in that time. It's like I say, it's football. Anything can happen. But if you're asking me what's my gut feeling, no, I don't think we're going to catch them. The whole reason why they're so comfortable, City, is because they've got a cushion of being able to lose 4 games on the bounce and probably still be ahead of us. So, I don't think so. It's nice to see some questions being asked now. They've lost their first game. They might go out, get a draw next game, a couple more points. Then you never know. But no, it's nice to see some questions being asked of them. And you know what? I did a poll on Twitter of what people would have preferred in that game today with City and Liverpool, and it was so interesting to see the reactions. I mean, the Twitter poll was actually unanimous, with everybody wanting City to lose. But a lot of people were saying, no, I would never support Liverpool. How can you even think that? I hate them even more than City. And it was just interesting to see. So, it's good to see a question being asked to City. It's nice to see they've actually lost the game. But, you know, on the flip side, Liverpool are on our heels. But with their defence, they're going to come unstuck. So I think we'll be safely ahead of them by the end of the season.
Just an interesting quote from Alexis Sanchez in 2010. I want a big club, Inter Milan or Manchester United. I like English football because it's fast and they never stop, like me. However, I have a contract with Udinese. So he has mentioned Manchester United in the past. Sophie, Manchester City lost today. Obviously the same sort of thing. I mean, what does that mean for Manchester United? But yeah, I think it was a really difficult one and it did split United fans. What did you want Liverpool to win? Did you want a draw? Did you want City to lose? That sort of invincible thing?
I think as a United fan, the best result would have been a draw because obviously neither of our rivals are winning. However, I must admit, a part of me inside is happy that City have now lost their winning run. Yeah, sadly it's Liverpool who've ended it, but I'm just happy to see Pep finally lose a game. And that just, as a United fan, that put a smile on my face. So although I wouldn't say I was cheering for Liverpool, I am quite happy that City's run has now ended.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it's come from actually, because I'm just looking at the league table and I always thought we had a big cushion over Liverpool, but they're actually level. We're level with them. If we win tomorrow with 3 points, I thought we had a bigger cushion than that. I didn't realise it was like we're only 3 points ahead of fifth. I did say that was going to happen. You know, United almost need an Alexis Sanchez sort of sign. I think Arsenal are cut adrift now, Flex. I think they're gone. But Spurs are motoring again. Liverpool were very impressive today. Chelsea, I think, will come again. There's not enough spots for what's available. United's almost... I think we've got to do something, haven't we? I mean, Mourinho... I wanted to bring in some of Mourinho's comments, and I want to get your opinion on this, both of you. There's a couple of interesting ones, but he did say the squad is the squad that we went into the season to, and I wasn't intending to add to it. I mean, I don't think this squad is definitely going to get top four, based on what Liverpool and Spurs are doing at the moment.
I'll be honest, I think we'll get top four. I know we had a little dip around Christmas time, threw away some silly points. But no, I think we'll get top four. I think we'll steady the ship, start getting a like a run of good results. I think we've got enough to get top four, definitely. I do believe that. But if, like you said, if you take your foot off the gas and drop a couple of points, you have got Liverpool on your heels. And like you said, Chelsea will come good again, Tottenham will knock in. So we've got to keep on our game, but I've got faith that we'll get top four. It will be tough, but you know, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine for top four, definitely.
Yeah, and in relation to Manchester United, obviously, Sophie, are you concerned in relation to that battle for top four? I mean, that's quite surprised me that Liverpool are actually level on points with us, and you know, I think we've got Stoke tomorrow, we've got to win that. Then we've got Burnley away, could be tough. Then I think we've got Spurs away. So, you know, what I would say about Liverpool and Spurs are they're on a very good run. Chelsea on a bit of a bad run. They could be a saving grace, but it's definitely going to be 5 teams for 4 spots.
Yeah, I'm like Flex. I think we will get top 4, to be honest. I think we had obviously a bit of a dip in form, which has affected us. However, I'm hoping, especially if we do get Sanchez in January, that'll be the boost that we need. Lingard has been on fire as well, which has got us out of a bit of trouble in a few games. But I'm expecting us to get top 4. I think we're good enough for top 4. It's more about our style of play. I think we kind of ran out of ideas a little bit. A bit of a dip in confidence and a dip in form. Obviously, the Southampton game was a biggie for that. But we've bounced back against Everton, and I'm hoping that we're on the up again now. And yeah, we'll push on in top 4. Hopefully second as well. I hope we stay in second.
Yeah, well, let's see. I mean, I must just say, because somebody said there, which way did I go, Liverpool or City or draw today? I hate Liverpool. I've been very consistent about that. I can't stand them. I've probably miscalculated. I thought there were a few more points behind us. I'm feeling a bit nervous now because I actually wanted City to lose. I didn't want Liverpool to win. I don't know how that works, but I did want City to lose, and I think this was their hardest fixture they had. They've got, you know, they've beaten us at Old Trafford. They've won at Chelsea. Arsenal are not hard, and then Wembley Spurs is a bit of a neutral ground. So Liverpool was their hardest game left, and that was the one to nail your hat on, and they have just beaten them. So for me, it was worth it. Liverpool aren't going to win the league this year, so that didn't really matter much. But it does put us close in a battle for top 4 for them, which I'd probably not realised. But I think it was really important that City lost. I was getting very, very, very angry with the press and their, you know, not even, you know, City are a better team this year, Flex. But what was annoying me was this oh, it's one of the best Premier League sides ever. And I think they've been riding their luck for a long time. So I'm personally very, very happy that they've lost.
Yeah, same. I mean, the whole thing about that whole best team ever is nonsense until they actually win anything and consistently win something. Because even if they win the league this year, which they probably will, you know, it doesn't mean they're going to go down as one of the best ever teams. Teams that win multiple trophies for numerous years are teams that are what you call great. You know, can they win the title and then retain it the next year? You know, can they win the Champions League? They're all questions that they need to answer that. We've answered them questions. You know, we're in the history books as putting together some of the greatest teams that the Premiership's ever seen. So I don't entertain any of that. It was nice to see them lose. I'm not going to lie about that. And I think a little bit like what you said about miscalculating the Liverpool thing. It wasn't until I put that tweet out and a lot of people started technically reminding me that, you know, much prefer, you know, Liverpool to lose because, you know, we're not going to win the league. So there's no point trying to get City to lose. We need to look behind us because Liverpool are coming. And you do see a little bit of that today because, yeah, we're level on points. If all goes to plan, which it should do tomorrow, obviously we go and beat Stoke, who are managerless, no confidence, and you know, hopefully we'll have an announcement of Alexis Sanchez by then. Who knows, to just give it a lift. But yeah, I did enjoy City losing, although they still nearly got it back. It was a bit of squeaky bum time at the end for Liverpool, and you're kind of thinking, oh, De Bruyne had that free kick at the end, and you're thinking, I bet they do it. I bet they just do it. You just wouldn't have put it past them. But it was nice to see them finally experience a loss. You know, that's nice. But now we get back to business now. Let's not focus on City. We've got our own stuff to worry about, and that's cementing second place, if not top four. And that starts straight in tomorrow. There'll be no excuses tomorrow. We can't have a 0-0 stalemate against a managerless Stoke. Let's not forget this. You know, they wanted to get Flores in. He just snubbed them and said no. So they're in a real bad patch. The last thing we need is to be walking out of Old Trafford tomorrow. A boring 0-0, you know, we can't have it. So let's get back to business. The boys have been away in Dubai. I give them a bit of criticism jokingly at the beginning of that, saying, "Oh, I don't think they should be going on holiday. They can go go-karting over here or something, and go down to the D-side." But you've seen all the tweets and the videos on the official United feed saying that the boys have had a great time and great training, warm weather, this, that, and the other. So they should be fresh. They should be ready to go. We should see a good performance tomorrow. And that's where the real business starts. We get back to business.
Yeah, and I would just add to that and say that, you know, a lot of Arsenal fans think they've had a bad day today. You know, losing Sanchez, losing to Bournemouth. But I think they've probably had the most successful day they'll have in a long, long time because they have retained the Invincible Cup. You know, City are not going to be invincible. And Arsenal will stay the only invincible team in the Premier League era. And I'm quite glad for any Arsenal fans who are watching tonight because, you know what, if City had done it, it would have been bathing in oil. And at least Arsenal did it the right way. And long may Wenger continue. That's what I say. But just before I go, I've got a question for you, Sophie, but I've just got to summarise some of the super chats we've had because we've had quite a lot. It's busy tonight. Stajac FIFA says, how many % are we now? We've covered all that. I think we range between about 50 and 90%. We've done that. Karan Bysel says, would this signing mean no Griezmann or Dybala? That's what I'm going to ask you, Sophie, in a moment. Sean Atwood, we've done that. Broski R says, nearly 6,000 watching. Cheers, Mark, Sophie and Flex. Well, cheers to everyone watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Josh E, shirt deal means we are able to pay 300,000 a week. Silence the snakes. Moses, I'll ask David Beckham to come out of retirement. He's better than what we have now. Probably crossing-wise he is. Elite Fires, Romelu Lukaku Snapchat is our Lukaku9. He updated it 1 hour ago. Check it out for yourselves. It's him saying catch up with brother. So it's obviously not him. Nicholas P made a contribution. Thank you. Lifestyle Tube. Mark Lukaku confirms Sanchez on Snapchat. We think that's a fake. Sadarth, I think United need a big signing in summer, irrespective of what happens with the Sanchez saga. What do you all think? Which Sophie's going to answer now. And Gozy Daniel, sorry, but I don't want Sanchez if it means not getting Griezmann. Simply put, the Frenchman is a better, younger player, full stop. And Nicholas P, according to a Chile teammate, Sanchez will be fulfilling a dream when he goes because the Red Devils are the team he always wanted to play for when he was a little boy. And that's from Nicholas P. And thanks to everyone who's contributed. So we come back to you, Sophie. Griezmann, Dybala, will those deals be impacted in the summer by and if Sanchez signs?
See, the thing with Sanchez is, like Flex said earlier, for me, Ozil was the player who was best suited to United. So if we do sign him, it's all about where Mourinho wants to play him. Realistically, he normally plays out on the left and tucks in. He's good in a front three, so if he's going to change the lineup and change the formation, then I still think we can get a player like Griezmann or Dybala, because they're obviously more of a number 10. Sanchez, there plays on the left, he likes to cut in. So there are different types of players. It's wherever system Mourinho chooses, he's going to accommodate those players, isn't it? He obviously must, in order to go out looking for Sanchez and take a risk in doing that, because he obviously could lose him to City, he must see him in his plans somewhere, and he must have had a word with Sanchez and said, look, you are going to be starting, you are in my plans. So for me, I think a Griezmann player would still be able to fit in United's lineup. It just depends where he's going to play Sanchez. If he's going to play on the left, then obviously there's no reason why we're not going to have a Griezmann or a Dybala signing in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you, and I did a video last night saying that, you know, there was I think it was in the Independent with Miguel Delaney, who's not bad, and he said what we were talking about in the week, that United should just go for Ozil as well, and apparently United still would. And you know, Ozil's a bit like the Stoke game tomorrow. We ain't got time to talk about that because we're focusing on Sanchez. But I think Ozil's the same as Sanchez. I think he will go, and United should get front of the queue because he's very cheap for the talent he is. He's Premier League proven, and I think we could get him. The interesting thing is that Mourinho said it 2 or 3 weeks ago that there will be a big signing in the summer, and then last night he said if we bring somebody in now and in the summer I'm buying a defender, a midfielder, an attacker, then it won't be 3, it'll be 2. So you don't know what to believe. But I think, Flex, that we, you know, regardless of whether we bring Sanchez in, I think we're all in agreement that yeah, he's a great player, but is he he provides width, but is he good at crossing, which is what we need. He's certainly not a number 10 Ozil is. I still think that yeah, Sanchez is a great player, and I agree with Mourinho, he's phenomenal. You can't refuse a player like that, and he will give us a big boost. But I still think we would need to go and get a Griezmann or a Dybala in the summer, because we do need that sort of player as well.
Yeah, you know, I've been speaking to a lot of Arsenal fans, people who go every week to Arsenal, and to be fair, they weren't being biased towards Arsenal. They were saying, you know, Alexis is a great player for them, but some of them were saying that, especially this year, he isn't the player that he's been for them for the past, like last year and the year before. Some of that could be down to the fact that the guy just doesn't want to be there. He looks behind him, he's putting in all that work rate, and he looks behind him and sees the quality that they've got and the progress they're making, so he probably thinks, what's the point? But some of it, the guy was saying to me that, you know, he's lost a yard of pace. He does give the ball away a lot. He's not particularly great at crossing. But there's no doubt he'll give us a lift. You know, he's got like Mourinho says, he's a phenomenal player, and he's world class. You know, he'll make any team better, and he can play anywhere across the front three. Like Sophie says, yes, traditionally at Arsenal, he does kind of play from the left and come in. But more so this season, and sometimes a bit at the back end of last, he was playing like a false 9. He can play anywhere across the front three. So in terms of exactly where he's going to play, I think that he'll find a place along anywhere across our front three. If Lukaku's injured, he can slot in there. He can take Rashford's place on the right, or even Mata's place. He can play number 10. He can almost play like a free role across the front three. That's how Mourinho will probably have him drilled. So it's interesting to see if he does come, exactly how he impacts upon our performance. You would think it can only be in a positive way. Even if he is, he's 29 now, this will be his last big move. Even if he has lost a yard of pace, he's the phenomenal player, and he'll make us better for sure. I do think in the summer, he's not going to be enough. I don't think we just sign Sanchez and then that's it. The league's wrapped up next year. Not a chance. We still need, like you said, that number 10 and probably another central midfielder to bolster that as well. And obviously maybe the fullback situation, depending on what happens with Valencia and Shaw. You know, hopefully Shaw does stay, but you never know. You never know what can happen in the summer. So we'll still need other signings. Definitely, we'll still need maybe a traditional number 10. But signing someone like Alexis Sanchez, he's world class. He'll make any team in the world better. You know.
Yeah. Well, we'll do a video. I've got a video planned on Alexis Sanchez and where he'd fit in at Manchester United. But I just think it's ridiculously presumptuous, even I do, to start us talking about where he's going to fit in. Because then when he goes to City, if he does, we look really even more stupid. But just very quickly, I would expect Rashford goes to the bench as a sub forward instead of being used as a winger, which would be a big positive. But what Mourinho did say, Sophie, was asked about Mkhitaryan, because Wenger was quite vague about Mkhitaryan for Sanchez on Friday in his press conference, so Mourinho was asked about it. And Mourinho said he played the last game, he will play the next game, hopefully not. But he said also that every player's got a price, and he wasn't totally like, Mkhitaryan's going to stay. Nobody's really talking about that, but would you be bothered? Do you think Mkhitaryan could be part of any deal with Arsenal, and would you want him to be?
I said this in the video the other day that I did with you. I said I can see Mkhitaryan being part of that deal. Wenger wanted him in the first place, didn't he? And obviously we got him. He hasn't really settled at United. Obviously, Jose didn't play him at the start when he signed him for a while because he wasn't settling. I wouldn't necessarily be bothered if he went to Arsenal because I think that would be a good move for him. I think he would fit into Arsenal's team quite well, and I think he would settle there. Obviously, if he turns up in an Arsenal shirt and he's absolutely amazing, I would be gutted because he hasn't really shown that form in a United shirt. There were occasions where he's shown flashes of class, but he hasn't been consistent enough. And I think, you know what, if you're getting a player like Sanchez, it's worth taking that risk, and I wouldn't mind Mkhitaryan going there as long as we're getting someone like a Griezmann or a Dybala in the summer, because I think we'll soon forget about Mkhitaryan, to be honest.
Yeah, and just on Alexis Sanchez, he's literally only just turned 29. It was in December, so it's not like he's turning 30 anytime soon. It wouldn't be till halfway through next season. Paul Robinson said he's a moody little sod and he could cause a rift. Well, big ego, big player. That's normally what you get. I think from what I've seen of him in an Arsenal shirt, his work ethic is very, very good, and he wants to win, and he doesn't like it when it doesn't happen. And that sort of petulance is the sort of petulance I think Manchester United need. But I certainly agree with what a lot of people are saying. I don't think Sanchez on his own solves our problems. We've still got lots of problems. And in relation to the January transfer window, I suppose we're still hearing Fellaini to PSG. I mean, I wanted Darmian and Blind to go. Looks like we're going to retain those. So do you see anybody going out the door, Flex, at all? Would you want to?
Definitely want to get rid of some of these players who are not playing well for us. Like a Darmian, like a Blind. Blind will look good in the games where we play against maybe lesser teams, where there's not much questions asked defensively. But he's, I don't think he's for us. With like what Sophie's saying with Mkhitaryan maybe being part of the Arsenal deal, it would be a bit of a sour one to see him go do well at Arsenal. Considering that the attributes that he's got, we know he can be a good player. It just hasn't worked out for him. It doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon. So that wouldn't be nice to see. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think in a video before when we were talking about trying to get players out halfway through the season, they can just put their arms up in the air and say, I'm not going, I'm not moving. It's quite difficult to do it halfway through the season. So I'd like to see us clean up a little bit of deadwood, but maybe not halfway through the season where we're not going to replace those people. It's all good saying that they're deadwood and we don't need them, but if we had sort of 3 injuries in one position because we're halfway through a season, needed to rely on someone. I know it's a little bit fickle to say, a little bit two-faced, but we might need to rely on someone like Darwin if we had some really, really bad injuries. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's probably better to wait to the end of the year, to be mass getting rid of players, because you don't want to leave yourself in a position where you really are short if something happens. I know some people might say, well, Darmian's useless anyway. You'd rather put an under 23 in there. I get that, but he's a first teamer. He's an international. He's got experience, and that's just using him as an example. You've got to be careful if you start wishing for everyone to just go out the door when you're not bringing anyone in.
For the person who said it, we aren't putting subliminal messages out that Sanchez has signed for Manchester United. I did a video saying he had earlier on, but Flex in a United shirt and Sophie with SR on her top doesn't mean Sanchez red. There's nothing subliminal there. We all think he's going to sign. We'll see if he does. Let's go into the live comments and get some questions for Sophie and Flex. We've got over 6,000 people watching. I know why, because Transfer News tends to do that. But what I would say is do watch. We're live every morning at 7 o'clock with the Transfer Daily, every night at 8 o'clock. So I know it's not always possible for everybody, but do make sure you come back and watch, because it's great when we've got a bigger audience and the comments really do get going. And do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you hit the like button, we might hit 2,000 likes, which we've never done on a Sunday show, which would be fantastic. But A Monica says Sanchez equals Cantona effect. Yes, Andy Cole effect as well. For anyone old enough, I think it's massive. I'm not going to go too much into that till it's done, but I think it would be such a big statement. Harry Cohen says Sanchez carried Arsenal last season. Yes. Off-market investments. He's a £70 million player if he had time in his contract. Yes. Let's hope Sanchez is just the beginning, says Siddharth. Yes. I think if Mourinho signs a contract, he's only going to do it with guarantees. Andrew Hoare says Mata's gone then. Well, I would like to see Sanchez play on the right with Martial on the left and Lukaku up front, to be honest, but we'll see. Anurag says I watch every show. Thank you. Andrew Ellis says we should have got Ross Barkley. I don't know. I'm trying to find a good question here. Not that that wasn't a good question, but I don't really want to talk about Ross Barkley. Oh, Amanor. I'll ask you this, Sophie, while I'm looking for another one. He says, does Sophie play football?
I do, yes. I play for Sporting Calcer in the Women's Premier League. I'm a holding midfielder.
Oh, you won today, didn't
I
you?
would have thought he was on the wing.
No, holding mid.
Don't look like a holding midfielder, if that makes sense.
Probably do a better job than Fellaini. No Salah. We don't want to talk about Liverpool. No width with Martial and Sanchez, and no crossing, says Joseph Hayes, which is only the same as what we're doing now. I think Sanchez will be good for United, says Rin Chouali. Hassan says we need another midfielder. Wan loves the channel, thank you. Okay, let's play a little game then. Matthew Kevin Binu says, when will it be official? Guess and see who gets it right. So, when are we? Whichever way, you could be United, still could be City. But when are we going for? I'm going to go first because I'm just going to jump in and say 8 o'clock tomorrow morning because I know that's going to be wrong, but it might just get a lot of people excited. What about you, Sophie?
I'm going to say Tuesday morning after the Stoke game.
Yeah, good one. Flex?
I'm going to be optimistic, which a lot of people in the comments call me pessimistic. I'm going to go for before the Stoke game, actually. Like breaking news as the players are warming up sort of thing. Sanchez just confirmed. I'm going to go with that. Could be.
What are our sources? Look, I said it earlier. All the source said was, and I've got the phone in front of me, so I'm not going to show you who it's from, but I'll read it out because I have to keep reading it myself just to make sure there's no uncertainty in it. So I nearly said the name out then. Sanchez defo to Manchester United. That was the message.
Might be stringing you on, man. Might be stringing you on.
Well, it's bad if it is.
They're good.
They hadn't lost then. Oh, I've let a little bit out. Sanchez on the left, Martial up front, Lukaku on the right, Lingard, Mata number 10, says AJ. Yeah, I think between now and the end of the season that would work. Or, as about this, Ozil number 10, Lukaku up front, Sanchez on the right, Martial up front. What do you think about that?
That sounds very appealing to me. Very appealing. How funny would it be if we actually got both of them too? Imagine that. Imagine, Arsenal, they despise us, don't they, really? I mean, they're so reluctant to admit that they're not a big club anymore, that they just try and compare us to them all the time because we finished, 6th, and they've been finishing above us for the past couple of seasons. They love. I've been saying to when we had Robbie on the other day, look at them now. They were laughing at us last season because we were prioritising the Europa League and finishing 6th and stuff like that. You look at them now, that's all they've got to play for is that Europa League. So you see how they go now. The only Karma's a BITCH. So, it's on them now. It's on them.
It's funny, isn't it, Sophie? Because I don't really watch Arsenal Fan TV, and that's nothing to do with Arsenal Fan TV. I think it's great what Robbie does, but I don't watch any other channel. But I did see, you do see the little clips, and, fair play, they do interact with us, and Robbie was on the other night, and there was a tweet I tweeted DT the other day, and he said, no chance. And I kept it. I've kept it.
Screenshotted, by the way.
Yeah.
Screenshotted.
I know you've got a few flex as well. But today, he gave something away as well. And it's not DT, because I haven't got his number, so it's not him who's told me the information. And he, in his fan cam, I saw a little clip of it on Twitter, and it was something along the lines of, tell us what you think, Sophie, but he was like, Wenger said 2 years ago they will never sell another player to Manchester United. He lied. F Wenger and his history, F Wenger, real hard stuff. So, the Arsenal fans definitely believe that he's coming to United, and we don't know. I think it's a horrible situation. It's like Christmas Eve, and you think you're going to get a PS4 for Christmas, but then someone's mentioned you might get a Sega Mega Drive.
N64.
Yeah, you just don't know. But I think you've just got to enjoy it while it lasts and live with it whichever way it goes, haven't you?
Exactly. I saw that clip that you're talking about. He looked obviously gutted because it's like Van Persie all over again. Because if Sanchez comes to United, he will obviously strengthen us and he'll make a big difference. Where we choose to play him, I'm not sure yet, but no matter where, he'll be in the starting 11. And like someone commented earlier, if he wasn't out of contract soon, he would be a £70 million player. Proven in the Premier League, he has carried Arsenal in the past, and that's why Arsenal fans are gutted, because he's such an awesome player. And if he went to City, I was fearing him going there, to be honest, because I think he would strengthen them as well. So if I do see him in a United shirt, then I will be buzzing with that, definitely. And I can see why Arsenal fans will be reacting in that way after Van Persie as well.
There's a lot of people saying there, look, you're all going to look ridiculously stupid when he signs for City. I don't care. I'm not. Well, I do care, but I don't care. I think if you don't live your life getting excited about something that might happen that's going to be fantastic, and you're just going to go, no, I refuse to get excited by this because it might not happen, then that's you. I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to happen. If it doesn't, I'll be emotionally depressed about it as well. But that's life. You've got to jump in.
That's the problem, Mark. That's the problem. I've got so many. I think that's why I'm blowing caution to this win, because I think inside I'm not really letting off exactly how excited I am. If I'm being deadly honest with you, I like to blow that caution to the wind. I've been let down so many times, and there's going to be so much banter coming my way. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready to take that. But of course I want him to come. I'm not going to say that I don't want him to come in case it don't happen. Yes, of course I want it to happen. I'm just not getting excited until I see him holding that shirt up, or see him with a pen in his hand with a picture next to Ed, signing the documents.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you've got to go all in. Don't live your life worried that what people are going to say if it doesn't work out. And that's across the board. That's not just football. Don't not take a risk, because if it doesn't happen, you're going to look stupid. Otherwise, it's a lesson in life, I think. But I don't care. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about the custard pie that's going to smash me smack in the face from about 1,000 angles if he doesn't sign. We'll just have to take it and we'll go again. I'm sounding like a Liverpool fan now. But just very quickly, I do want to talk about it. Lucas Moura, Ranieri did say the other night that they were trying to take him to Nantes, but he's already made his decision where he's going. Sophie, that decision, we were talking about him as well last week and saying he's potentially not good enough. He's turned us down in the past. He's not playing many games for PSG. I think that signing suddenly becomes more appealing. One, if it's a loan, and two, if you've brought Sanchez in. If he was our only signing, I'd be like, oh my God, that's pants. But if you've got Sanchez and then you're getting him in on loan for give him 4 months and see what he can do, suddenly it's not such a bad signing. He's a winger.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I checked on Sky Sports earlier when it comes up with the top rumours and what's most likely to happen. Lucas Moura to Man United is still up there, along with Sanchez. So it's still up there. It still could happen. And like we said last week, if he comes to United, we'd back him in a United shirt. We'd obviously support him. I'm just concerned at the fact that he doesn't really start for PSG. Every time I've watched PSG, he hasn't really featured. He's either been sub or not even in the squad. He's been there for a long time now, so that's my concern with him. However, he could come to be a bit like Salah. At Roma, he wasn't amazing. Now look at him at Liverpool. He could be that kind of signing. He could come out of the blue and surprise us. Mourinho, he must see something in him to want to sign him. He's a winger, which is something that we lack. And like you say, if we get Sanchez as well, then this could be looking like a really attacking, positive transfer window for United. Yes,
definitely. Right, I think we've more or less covered everything, because I think we could just talk. And I'm aware that people want to watch Celebrity Big Brother and all that crap. I mean, the summer's great. Blinders. Yeah, Peaky Blinders. Well, the summer's great. Everyone starts saying, can you wrap it up by 9 because Celebrity Love Island's on and all this nonsense. So always try and pick to the limits. But I've had a really good show tonight. I think we all have. David C's just made a contribution, so I must read it. He says, of United, get Sanchez. It's because he wants to join us, not City. Look at Robin Van Persie. He wanted United switch, even though City were in for him. Yeah, I said that and I agree with that. If he comes to United, no one's forcing him. If he comes to United, he's basically snubbing.
He holds all the cards. The decision is his. So
yeah, if he goes City, he snubs us. If he goes United, he snubs City, and people just need to deal with it. We'll see. I think it's going to be a very interesting 48 hours. Obviously, we will react live whenever it happens. I hope it's not at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not the best, but it will happen. I hope it will happen. Thanks for coming on, Flex.
No problem, guys. Make sure to get at me. Continue this on Twitter as well, at Flex United Stand, all one. be sure to keep all these comments coming because there's a lot going on at United right now. It's exciting times.
And remember, Flex is at Old Trafford tomorrow after the game for the Stoke game. So you know where he is between Old Trafford and Hotel Football. We only put the good people on now, but you can at least try. I'm only joking. But you know, you might have something you want to say about Sanchez. So yeah, watch out for them fan games tomorrow. And thanks for coming on, Sophie.
Thanks for having me on, Mark. And again, follow my Twitter as well, at SophRicho. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hair Dry Treatment, all one word. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm Mark Goldbridge. Subscribe to my channel, Mark Goldbridge. No, there is one, but I'm only joking. Thanks everyone, you're fantastic. Do subscribe to the channel, get involved. We'll be back again tomorrow morning at 7 AM with the Transfer Daily. I'm going to try and not talk about Sanchez tomorrow on the Transfer Daily. If I manage that, I think I deserve a big applause. But I'm going to try desperately not to, unless he's signed, in which I must. And then 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Oh no, it's not Skype tomorrow. It's a watch along tomorrow night. People keep saying, "Where's the Stoke preview?"
Tomorrow, mate. We've got games. Back to business. Back to business.
We've got to win. It's nice to have a game. It's nice.
It feels like for ages we haven't had one. 10 days is too long.
Although the Sanchez rumour has helped, it has sort of killed the last 4 days.
It's given us something to focus on. But on we go to Stoke. Got to win.
Yeah, we've got to win. So I'm looking forward to that. Watch along tomorrow. Join us for that. We'll be live from about 7 o'clock and. Shoot neutrality. I'm Mark Goldbridge. Aha! I know what you're on about. See you all very soon. Thanks everyone tonight. Do get involved with the channel and fingers crossed. We need this deal to happen because you know, friendships are on the line. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all very soon. And thanks to Sophie and Flex.
See you later. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, guys. It was a good show.
Yeah, great stuff.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I just nearly forgot. I just, like I said, when my phone was going off, I was